So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today from all over the world or from Ottawa. If you're here in Ottawa, it is 9 a.m. nice and early in the morning. So we really thank you for joining us today. So folks, before we get started, I'm just going to go over a few housekeeping items here. So firstly, I just want to say thank you again for joining and welcome to the Fall 2023 College Essentials Q&A webinar. And we are so excited to have you here and to have you join the AC community. My name is Sam, and I'm going to be hosting this webinar today. So folks, this webinar is being recorded and will be available for you to watch on the AC Hub on-demand webpage in the coming days. And we'll share a link to that in the chat now for your preference. This webinar is equipped with closed captioning if you need it. To turn on closed captioning, please select the CC icon along the bottom of your Zoom toolbar. We encourage you to engage with the college community throughout this event today by posting in the chat, which you're already doing. So great job, everyone. But please refrain from sharing any personal information such as your home address or your student ID number, and act respectfully to everyone when you're engaging in the chat. We also encourage you to ask tons of questions. So if you have a question, please post it into the Q&A tab, which can be found along the bottom of your Zoom toolbar, not into the chat, into the Q&A tab. And after every couple of presentations, we'll pause to answer a few questions pertaining to the subjects that we just covered to ensure that we are answering everything for you. And again, when asking questions, please refrain from asking things that are very personal to your details or that are very distinct to your circumstances. All right, everyone. So let's quickly take a look at the agenda here before I hand over the floor to our college experts. So as you can see, after every few presentations, we are going to pause to answer some of your questions. And then once all of the presentations are complete, we'll go and open the floor up to all of the rest of the questions that you might have. And again, please remember to post all of your questions into the Q&A tab along the bottom of your Zoom toolbar, not into the chat, as we might miss them in the chat, and we'll definitely be able to see them in the Q&A tab. So please post them there. All right, everyone, so let's get started here. I'm going to now hand over the floor to our first college expert, which is Nirma from the Registrar's Office.
Everyone, thank you, Sam. I'm Nirma Gumet. We are here coming live to you from Registrar's Office to give you some information about our services here. Next slide, Sam. So in Registrar's Office, one of the main things that we have here with our students are always asking about is something called Access account. So as you see on the screen, it's spelled ACSIS, and we call it Access. This is your college sort of portal, your information portal to all the college services that we offer. We have a lot of information on there. It is a very essential service for you to come and check out before you come to the college, and there's a lot of information on you for Access account. You can access many things which I'm going to show you. To log into Access, is important to know that you need your student number, and your first login will be your birthday. And after that, you will create your own unique password and security questions if you ever forget it. If you ever forget your password and need help, you can always contact us and we will reset it for you. Next slide, please. So on your Access, one of the most important things before you start school is something we call fee deferment. So you have your fees, you have your tuition payments there, receipts, and something very important, as you see is highlighted here, is defer your fees. Deferring your fees, especially in this term right now, academic fall term, what that means is students, either first year students, as you know, had to pay deposit, 500 for domestic and 1,500 for international students to postpone their fees for until end of the term. And we usually postpone your fees till September 25th of this term. And what that means is you're telling us that after you accept your offer, you are coming to the college and you are telling us you want to study here. So for your next term, it's very important to know in your second term that this button that you need to click on your Access, it's under Fees tab on the left side menu, is you have to click that to postpone your fees to let us know that you're coming in the second term as well. Next slide, please. So in your another important tab, again, everything is highlighted on the left side of the menu on Access when you log in, something we call timetable. Again, at this time, most of your timetable should be there if you have paid your deposit and postponed it for your fees. If you're also applicant, your timetable is available on Access for your viewing. You will click on this tab and then the schedule will show with your time and the room number. Students are often confused would say WF first, which means Woodruff campus, and then it will give you the letter, which is a building, and then number of that room. So that's where you'll receive all your information. If you don't have timetable, you can contact us or check again on your access to fee if you see if you postponed it for your fees or paid your deposit. That is one of the main issues that why students can't see their timetable. Next slide, please. Another very important option that students do call us a lot about is drop and transfer courses. Because students get their timetable and they often are not happy with the time or they want to change. So you can use this tab to change or transfer your courses. Some departments allow this option, some do not. If you do see this option to transfer sections, that meaning that you can go into the different time of the day or even different day, then you go ahead and do it yourself on Access. If you're not able to do this, that means that your department is not allowing this option. Therefore, you have to contact your program coordinator. Next tab, please. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, so again, under the fees and payments, there's another very important option when you do pay that initial deposit. If you already did, that receipt is going to be showing on your Access. You can just click on this tab and you will see your receipt of any payment, not just deposit, any payments that you made to the college. You can print your receipt by yourself on your Access account under fees and payments. Slide, please. All right, so again, in the letters tab gives you many letters that we offer here that you can print to yourself as well. One of the main letters that students do ask us is the enrollment letter, which at this time, if you paid your fees, you have this option available to you. You would just click the term that is relevant. For example, right now it's a fall term, so you would put 23 fall term, and you can print your enrollment letter on Access account. We also offer other letters that may be relevant to you under this tab. Again, if there's any letter that you cannot access on Access, it will prompt you to let you know that you can't access it, and then it will let you know how to contact us and we can draft the letter for you. Next slide, please. Okay, so again, well, as I mentioned, to log into your Access portal, you will need your student number that we provided to you, and your first login will be your birthday. And again, if you have forgotten that, they will be prompt to let you know to put your own password and then security question if you ever forget it. If you forget all of that information, not a problem. You can call us here at the registrar's office, or you can call ITS 55555, and we will reset this for you by verifying your information. So just rest assured you're always going to have access to your Access account. We will help you out. Next slide, please. Okay, so on this tab, you can see that there is a profile, your profile information. When you click on there, you can see all of your address, your email, and so on. So in this tab, you can only update your home address. For international students, unfortunately, your address that is from your birth country, you will have to call us and we can definitely update that for you. For any other address, local addresses, you can add this by yourself. Very important to know this for them. I'm sure you will maybe forget, but for the later on, there's a lot of people that move, and when you do graduate and get your diploma, we will be sending your diplomas to your home address. So very important to update that address as you move, and you can do it yourself. Another option also is to contact us and we can update it for you. Next slide, please. All right, so this option for again on Access account is for transfer courses. So students often ask us again to they have completed school somewhere else and they want to do transfer courses to us. We do offer this option. Absolutely, students are eligible to apply for external exemption. There is a $10 charge, and then students have to provide their transcripts that they completed in the other school, and then they have to provide the course outlines. It's all you have to, that is your responsibility to provide to us. If you are completing something that is with us and you have to do internal exemption, that is free of charge, and you can just simply apply for internal exemption and you don't need to provide any information because we already have everything for you. And then exemptions take 6 to 8 weeks to be processed. If should you get approved, we will it automatically remove you from the course that you are applying for exemption for. Next slide, please. All right, so in this link, this is a very important link to know about. It's how to contact us and how to get to Access account. So everything is done on our web page, main page, algonquincollege.com. You can find a lot of information there. And if you go to the search tab, you can type in how to contact us. We do have a phone number, and then we have how to create a case for you to be able to contact registrar's office for any needs. We are also open in person in a C building in the basement from 8:30 to 4:30. You can always come and for anything that you need. Thank you. All right, so other resources. Again, here, Access account, how to access academic calendar, very important for students to see all the important dates, especially about the fees for the second term, deferment, deposit payments and such. And then when is your timetable going to be available? And then how to contact registrar's office. This is a link to click and contact us to open up a case. So that was thank you, Sam. Thanks, everybody. That's it from us. I don't know if there's any questions. We will be answering that shortly.
That was great. Thank you so much, Nirma. And we will be going back, folks, after our next presentation to answer some questions about the registrar's office. So if you have more questions, make sure to post them in the Q&A and we will answer them after this next presentation. All right, folks, so we're now going to go over to Gary from ITS.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gary, and I'm from the ITS at Algonquin College. A part of what we do is to make your transition to college a bit easier. We are here to support students for password resets, software installs, Wi-Fi, printer, laptop and software troubleshoots, and much more. Can I get the next slide, please? One of the most important things that you will need throughout your time at Algonquin is your network account. You will be able to find your network account on Access once you have completed your registration. To sign into Access, you will need to enter your student number and your date of birth. You will then have to create a new PIN and security questions. For returning students who forgot their PIN, you will need to give us a call or come in person to reset your PIN. After signing into Access, look for your network account info under the account category on the top left-hand side of the page. And there you will find your user ID, initial password, and your email address. Can I get the next slide, please? Once you have your network account credentials, you'll be able to use many services such as your email, AC Secure Wi-Fi, Brightspace, and the Digital Resource Portal, which is what you would use to download softwares such as Microsoft Office. But in order to download any software from the Digital Resource Portal, you must be a full-time student in the Bring Your Own Device program, and you are not encumbered, so you don't owe the college any money. And for students who are part-time, we got you covered as well. You would be able to use Office 365 while you're studying here at Algonquin. Can I get the next slide, please? Apps Anywhere is a software delivery application where you can have access to the softwares you will need for your courses. You'll be able to use the apps from Apps Anywhere from anywhere at any time for both Windows and Mac users without having to install the software. Can I get the next slide, please? For students who will be learning from home, we have some resources here to make learning from home easier adjustment. Please visit our knowledge base where we put together answers for some of the most frequent questions. Along with the online support, we also provide conditional laptop loans. We only lend out laptops to full-time students in the Bring Your Own Device program who has paid their technology fee, which is included in your tuition and is not encumbered. You will also need to provide proof that your laptop is in repair or is being shipped to you. And then after that, we can lend out a laptop to you for 2 weeks at a time. Can I get the next slide, please? Lastly, our hours of operations are from 7:30 a.m. until 8 p.m. from Monday to Friday. And on Saturday, we are open from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. And our email is 5555@algonquincollege.com. Our phone number is 613-727-4723, and our extension is 5555. If you want to come in person, we are located in the lower floor of Building C. Thank you.
Okay, thanks so much, Gary. That was really great. So folks, we're going to open the floor up to a couple of questions now, specifically questions regarding the registrar's office and IDS. So the first couple of questions here are for Nirma and Caitlin from the registrar's office. So our first question here is regarding their account balance, and we got a couple of questions kind of in the same vein as this. So regarding their account balance, if they would like to pay their balance, can students go directly to the registrar's office and just pay their balance there?
So, one moment, sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries.
For the students, they can, domestic students can pay their balance on online banking. To online banking on their bank, so they have to go to their app on the bank if they're using their online banking through there, or they have to go to their bank and ask them to do something, set up a bill payment. So it's like paying a hydro bill on any other bill to their bank. So your student number will be your account number. Please make sure to type in correctly, because if you type in your one number, it's going to go to the wrong student's account, and that's how you will set up your payment. You can absolutely pay deposit fees or all your fees before September 25th. For international students, they have different options. Here they can go on Access account and make a payment, and they can call us and pay via credit card. We do not, unfortunately, take payments in person.
Okay, thank you, Nirma.
You're welcome.
And then if they have, this one kind of goes along in the same vein as that question. If they have just a general question about their account balance, where would they go to? Who would they speak to?
Yeah, so again, they can call us. They can also see it on Access. There is a tab under fees. You can view all of your transactions in the view summary. You can view your balance, but absolutely, you can come to registrar's office. You can call us and we will discuss all your fees, explain them to you. Different fees have different departments, but we will refer you to any, if you need any referment, we know where to send you.
Okay, thanks so much, Nirma.
You're welcome.
So I have one more question for you, Nirma. So if they can't get into, so it says, I noticed I can't get into Access between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. Is this the case every night, even when school is in session?
Unfortunately, yes, this is when we do maintenance for all of our systems. So you won't be able to have access to your Access account in this at this time.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Nirma.
You're welcome.
Okay, Gary, I've got one question for you. So this question is for ITS, and it's about the Bring Your Own Device program. So Gary, can you kind of tell us about, if it says Bring Your Own Device, what does that mean? And what do students need to do?
Bring Your Own Device program just means that part of the program requires you to actually have a laptop or a device that is similar to your laptop, such as a tablet, where you can take notes in your class or use your laptop for certain softwares that is part of your class curriculums. And we have a website with the link that lists all the program that is part of the Bring Your Own Device program, as well as the requirements for what type of laptop is for which type of program. So I'll include that link in the comments so that you guys can have a look at it. And if you need help with any issues with the laptop or what kind of device you have, we have a recommended device in the campus store, so you can go over there. Otherwise, you can take the requirements listed in the Bring Your Own Device program and go to any stores and tell them that you need those specific requirements, and the technicians there can help tell you what type of device you would be best for your course.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Gary. And then Gary, in terms of if a student has an issue with their own laptop or device of any sort, could they just bring it to you folks to get that looked at and fixed?
Yes, so you can always bring it into the ITS. We are located in the lower floor of Building C. We will have a look at it first, and then if we're able to fix the issue, that's great. If not, we'll let you know what type of issues that you might have and recommend you to go to a certified technician to have a look at it for the hardware.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you so much, Gary. And Gary, just one more time before we move on, can you just tell us how to contact you?
So you can contact us through email at 5555@algonquincollege.com. You can also give us a call at 613-727-4723, and our extension is 5555. Otherwise, you can come in person. We're located in the lower floor of Building C.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thanks so much, Gary. And folks, I just wanted to mention too, on AC Day 1, ITS will have 2 tables that will be set up, one in the Student Commons building and one at the entrance of C building, I believe, or in C building. So if you need to drop into ITS that day on the first day of college, you can just drop by one of those tables and talk to them there, or you can just go to their office as well. So folks, we are now going to move on to the International Education Center. So Sue, I'm going to pass it over to you.
So hello and welcome to all our international students that are joining us. Hopefully some of you are joining us here from Ottawa, or perhaps you're still in your home country, but we're so happy that you're here with us today. You can join us on social media. So these are some of the channels that you can join us through Instagram, and I'll also talk about another app that we have. Next slide, please. So the International Center is here to support all of our international students. We have a wide range of services to try and make your time here at Algonquin a positive experience and to help you succeed all the way to graduation. So some of you might be taking advantage of our arrival services to bring you from the airport to wherever you're going to be staying, perhaps in the residence. We'll help you with settlement integrations. We have lots of support and resources around your IRCC documents. We offer orientations specifically for international students. We run a health insurance program, and then we'll just help you, anything that you might have, or point you in the right direction if it's another area of the college that's trying to, that you need support from. Next slide, please. So we also offer peer tutoring support, which I'll talk about a little bit later. That's an academic support. So if you find that you're struggling in some of your courses, please reach out to us sooner rather than later, and we will support you with some peer tutoring. We run a wonderful international peer mentorship program that we match international students, current students, with some of our new incoming students. And then we have a wide range of workshops. So hopefully some of you have already been attending our Succeed in Canada series. And then we're also running social insurance clinics on campus. So within the next 2 to 3 weeks, if you are arriving, you will be able to get your social insurance number once you arrive. Just an important note that as new incoming international students starting in the fall term, you're not eligible to start working until September the 5th. Next slide. So we also have an iSent app, which is a new app that we've delivered specifically for international students. And if you have not already done so, I would strongly encourage you to download this app from your smartphone, and it's a great resource tool. You'll have lots of helpful tips right at your fingertips there to get push notifications about our newsletters that we issue bi-weekly to international students, or any other student resources that you might need while you're here as an international student. Next slide. So we also offer advising. So I'm one of 5 international student advisors here working at Algonquin. All of the student advisors have their RISIA or their RCIC. So we are legally able to give you guidance and advice in relation to your IRCC documents. So you might need to contact us if you need to take a break in your studies. Perhaps you were unsuccessful and you're going to drop to part-time status, or you might have questions about your work permit, study permits, or even after you're graduating. So if you do need to meet with one of the international student advisors, you can either book an appointment with us, or you can send us an email, and our email address is iecsupport@algonquincollege.com. Next slide, please. So coming up next week, as I mentioned, we also run our own international orientation specific for international students. So if you have not already done so, you need to register for one of these mandatory sessions. If you're in an academic program, you should be registering for either the session on August 28th or August 31st. So we do have a morning or an afternoon session. You don't need to attend both. They are virtual sessions. So we'll be happy to see you there. And then you will also have another academic program orientation, which Sam will talk a little bit later on, AC Day 1. If you happen to be one of our new incoming students that is studying our English for academic purposes, then you would come to our in-person orientation, which is scheduled for Friday, September 1st in the morning from 9 until noon. Next slide, please. So as a full-time registered international students, it's mandatory that all of our international students do have health insurance. So your health insurance is provided by GuardMe. So we will be ordering insurance starting September 1st. So for anybody who's registered full-time, you don't need to do anything. You will be automatically enrolled in the program. And then probably that first week of September, you'll receive an email. The email will be sent to your personal email that we have on file. And inside that, you'll just have to set up your profile, and you will have a digital card that shows that you actually have the GuardMe health insurance. So the GuardMe health insurance is a medical plan. It's not a dental plan, but international students are eligible to purchase additional insurance through the Students Association, and they will probably talk a little bit more about that plan later on in their presentation. Next slide. So as I mentioned earlier, our office does support international students. If you find you're struggling in some of your courses at the beginning of your classes, please don't hesitate to reach out by sending an email to IEC support. Just give us your name, your email, and then we'll give you some vouchers for free peer tutoring. So the peer tutoring, it would be support from an upper level student that is currently in the same program or course that you're taking, and then they would match you with someone from the peer tutoring office, and then you would get support that way. Next slide, please. The Succeed in Canada is also a workshop series that we've started the last 2 weeks. So the Succeed in Canada is a course that you should automatically see in your Brightspace. So when you log into your Brightspace, it should show up as a course, a resource course there, and it's called Succeed in Canada. And it has lots and lots of great information for our new incoming students, like, you know, what to expect for your first winter, because probably some of you, when you come here in the fall, you've never actually seen the snow. So it gives you lots of great tips and information just to get you on a successful journey as you're coming as an international student here at Algonquin. Next slide. And the international office, we also host a lot of events and activities. So if you have not already done so, please download the iSent app, and we will talk a little bit more in detail when you come to the International Student Orientation. We refer to that as the ISO. We also have a great events calendar. So on the events calendar, it will show you all the dates of, for example, when our SIN clinics are happening, when some of our other events and activities, the Succeed in Canada courses, the boot camps. So there's lots and lots of great resources to help you get up and running and be successful international student study here at Algonquin. And as I mentioned, we also have social media. So if you'd like to follow us on Instagram, we have Instagram and Facebook. And I believe that's my next slide. So I'm going to just pass it along to Sam.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much, Sue. So folks, that was a lot of information for our international students, but I just want to say the IEC, International Education Center, is so wonderful. They have so many resources. There's so much support for you. So if you are an international student, do not worry. We have got your back and we have got you covered. So Sue, I got quite a few questions for you here. So if you don't mind, let's answer some of them now.
Sure.
So the first one, Sue, is can you kind of explain a little bit about what a SIN number is and tell us what that is and why it's important?
So a SIN is short for a social insurance number. So international students, when they come to Canada, they are eligible to work. As long as on their study permit, it has the remarks that allows them to work on or off campus. Once they find a job with an employer, either on campus or off campus, they're going to require that social insurance number for the employer to legally be allowed to pay them. So the social insurance number is issued by another government office called Service Canada, and we partner with them every semester and have them come on campus. So the SIN, when they come to the clinic, they'll actually need to bring their passport and their original study permit, and then the Service Canada representatives that are here will actually issue a SIN number for the students. So, and they will explain a little bit more in detail, but it's very, very important that you do not share that number with anyone other than your employer.
Okay, that's great, Sue. Thank you. And then someone asked that they missed the last SIN clinic. Is there more coming up that they can attend?
Yes, we do have SIN clinics coming up next week. Off the top, I believe the next SIN clinics are August the 29th and 31st. And then we have 2 SIN clinics as well in the first week of September. So you still have lots of time to get your SIN. You actually have to be physically here in Canada. So if you're still waiting for a study permit approval or you're not actually here in Canada yet, you'll need to wait until you're actually physically here in Canada. One other thing I just wanted to mention, if we still have some international students that are still waiting for study permit approvals, just a friendly reminder that you need to keep our international admissions team up to date with what's happening. So you either have access through your application portal where you can post a message to the the admissions officer that has been assigned to your file, or through if you're working with one of our partner agents. Just keep them abreast if you're still waiting to hear from IRCC with an approval for your study permit.
Okay, that sounds great too. And I saw that Sonia just posted, folks, in the chat. She posted the sit-in clinic timings. So just click that link and you can see the remaining timings for those sit-in clinics and register for one of those. Okay, so Sue, this is regarding the IRCC. So it says, I'm a student in the Strategic Global Business Program set for fall 2023, but I have concerns about starting in September since I haven't received the IRCC decision yet. What steps should I take in this situation?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, just make sure you're keeping the international admissions department up to date through your application portal, or as I said, if you're working with a partner agent, because there are deadlines of when you'll physically need to be here. Classes do start September 5th, and they have different deadlines of when you actually need to be here, depending on what academic program you're starting in September. And if you don't have your study permit on time, then there might be a possibility if your program also is offered in the winter term, you might be deferred to the winter session. So it's just important to keep them up to date, because unfortunately we don't have any jurisdiction over IRCC, and hopefully you'll have a positive answer within the next couple of weeks.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you, Sue.
No problem.
And then who should I send or bring my study permit to?
So the IEC is not responsible for collecting copies of study permits or work permits. It is an international student's responsibility to make sure that your documents are up to date, that you don't let them expire. One thing that I would really like to remind students, especially if you still have not traveled to Canada, make sure at the port of entry, so wherever you're entering Canada, whether it's Vancouver, Toronto, or Montreal, when you first land, and that's where you get your study permits, before you leave the airport with CBSA, take a look at those documents, make sure your name, everything that's on it is spelt correctly, and that the officer has not made any mistakes.
Okay, that's super important, folks. So make sure you look at those documents, make sure everything on them is correct. Okay, so folks, I think that's all the questions we'll answer for now, but I do want to say, please, if you are an international student, if you haven't already done so, go, and it's mandatory, so you have to go to one of the international student orientations. There are still 2 left, I believe, next week on August 28th, and then also on August 31st, I believe, right, Sue?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go to those orientations because they will cover all international student issues way more in depth. So it is super important for you to attend those. So please make sure to register for one of those dates. Okay, folks, so we're going to move on here to our next college experts. We're going to go over here to campus services. So David, it is now over to you.
Hey, great. Thanks, Sam. Great to see everybody or hear all the questions here this morning. Lots of responses going back in the Q&A, and we're happy that AC Day 1 is just around the corner. So my name is David Hall. I work for Campus Services, and we'll give you a little rundown about what you can expect to find when you come on campus next month. So let's get to the first slide. So when I say campus services, I mean the things you see on the screen here. So part of the fabric of what makes the college work and makes your time enjoyable here on campus. So that includes our food and conference services, our bookstore, your course materials, any printing you might do at printers within the hallways and classes and laboratories, and our full service print shop. And then some of the other sort of daily task things such as parking, lockers, card, bus pass, transit pass, or what we call the U pass. All those things we could give you information about and answer your questions. And lastly, residents. If you're lucky enough to live in our residence community, that's part of campus services as well. So let's get to the next slide. Lots of questions we're already seeing this morning. Responded to most of them already is about our cards. So within the first few days of school, you can get them right now even. You'll be uploading a photo of yourself to be used on the two cards that you see on our screen. So the one on the left is your AC card or your student identification card. Not only is it just shows who you are, but it also allows you access to things such as classrooms, releasing your print jobs, paying for food if you have a meal plan account. There's lots of great things that that card does for you. So make sure you don't delay and start that process immediately. And along the same process, we'll produce a U-Pass for you. That's the blue card on the right. And that gives you unlimited access to the transit system right here in Ottawa, buses and trains, including the transit system just across the river if you live on the Gatineau side of the Ottawa River. So most important thing to do right now, if you haven't done it already, is click on that link to submit your photo. We don't take photos on campus any longer. We invite folks to upload a photo of themselves that meets the requirements. And then we will evaluate it, send you an approved email message and invite you to come pick up your card. So you don't just walk in and get your card, you upload your photo first, then you it gets approved, you book an appointment, and we will have a service center open for you beginning next week. From Monday to Friday in the Marketplace Food Court. So it'll be very hard to miss us, but make sure you check your email for the latest and greatest details. So next slide, please. Food. There's lots of food on campus. There's 10 different locations around campus. We manage 7 of them as the food services group. You can find something breakfast, lunch, and dinner all across campus from one end to the next. If you live in residence, if you're in central campus, or you're on the west side of campus in our trade center, there's something to be found. And these are full service food locations featuring different styles of food at different locations. So if you have a meal plan, you'd be using these food locations as well. Or if you're a regular student, maybe not living in residence, all these are open and available to you. You will see a link that just popped into the chat, and that will show you our locations in more detail, and also the hours of operation for the fall. So lots of great food options on campus. If you have any dietary restrictions, we can help with that as well. So within our site, which we posted the link to, we have a registered dietitian that can help you with any sorts of food and dietary restrictions or preferences that you may have. Next slide, please. Our campus store. So this is where you get your AC gear. So we got tons of great stuff, sweaters, caps, and the list goes on and on. But this is also where you get your course materials as well. So if you haven't accessed your book list already, it's a customized list of what you'll need for each and every one of your courses. There's a link on the screen, and it will be going into the chat momentarily. This is where you get your books. You can order them. You can pick them up directly at the bookstore. Being at the 23rd of August, that's probably the best click and collect option. Otherwise, if you're local here, we can ship them directly to your house. All those options are available online. So AC gear, course materials, and then when you come in, you'll notice that we have our print shop right within our retail store, and a whole number of other things, gift shop, technology store. You can get your laptop that's required for your program. I saw a few questions this morning about that. All that you can do online at thecampusstore.ca, or just walking into the store in H110 here on the Ottawa campus. Next slide, please. Printing, I briefly mentioned printing. We have dozens and dozens and dozens of printers across the campus in hallways and offices, laboratories, and classrooms. You have access to print on all of these with your IT fee. The equivalent of 100 black and white photos credits are on your account, so you can print as required throughout the term. If that's not enough, you can always add more money to your AC card, and we'll put a link up to that shortly as well. So that's the sort of real-time, in the moment printing you have access to, and you have 100 black and white pages. But also, if you need something more professional, or different options, we have a full service print shop right here on campus. So we call it the print shop online, and algonquincollege.com/print shop will get you where you need to be. And all the printing gets done right here on the Woodruff campus, and you can pick it up in a matter of days. Next slide, please. And we had a few questions about parking here on the Ottawa campus. So we have many, many different options. We'll put some links up in the chat. Either short-term parking options, so everything from hourly. So if you're only here for a couple hours a day, we have options for that. Daily parking, so you're here for 1 day a week, we have options for that. Or if you're someone like me who's on campus 3 or more times a week, I buy an annual permit, and that avails me to a parking lot 365 days a year. Where I know where I can park my car. So we have so many different options. We've actually created a parking options selector on our website, and we'll put our link into that. And it'll allow you to identify how many times you'll be on campus and what is the most cost-effective way to park right here on the Ottawa campus. And also, you can buy your permit, of course, directly online. You can do that in a matter of clicks, and you don't need to pick up a physical permit. We register your license plate, and then that becomes your parking permit for whatever you purchased. But make sure you put the correct details in. We need an accurate license plate. If we don't have it, we don't know that you've paid, and that can lead to some complications. So when you're buying your parking permit, double check that license plate, please. Next slide. And if a car is not for you, we are attached to the rapid transit system here in Ottawa. So the U-Pass, which I already mentioned and lots of questions about already, that gets to you to most spots within the city. But if you're living a little bit closer and you can cycle to campus, we have many, 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 many bike parking spots on campus. Some are even sheltered for inclement weather. And you'll see in this photo, on the screen there on the back right, that little green stand, that is a bike repair station. So we have 3 bike repair stations right here on campus. In case you run into some troubles on your commute, they are conveniently located around 3 of our different buildings. And it's got everything from inflating your tires and about a dozen different tools that you'll need to adjust anything you might need on your bike. So let's move over to the next slide. Locker renters are very popular, and they're accessed through Axis. So if you log into your Axis account, you can navigate on the left-hand side to rent a locker per term, and they're only $21 per term. So if you're in a program that has a lot of materials, tools perhaps, it's always a good option. But most people, middle of fall, even beginning of fall, but definitely into winter with their hats and their coats and their boots, they really start thinking about locker rentals. So now's a good time to lock in your locker. For $21 a term, you can go over to Axis and order one today. And we even have a tool on there that'll help you pick a locker closest to your schedule. So you don't need to know the campus to be able to buy a locker today. And next slide, please. And so that's it for us here at Campus Services. You might see me and us around campus AC Day 1 and through the year. If you do, come say hi. We're looking forward to seeing you on September 5th.
Okay, thanks so much, David. And yeah, folks, I want to say lockers in the winter are extremely important. So highly recommend getting one, especially for the winter term, where you can keep all your boots and your coats and your hats and all that stuff in it. So highly recommend for that. All right, so let's move on to our next college expert. So we have Kelsey from Academic Success.
Sam. So first slide, please. There are so many people and supports available to you during your studies at Algonquin College. Each role has a focus on the different types of questions they can answer. So I'll go through some of them now. Next slide, please. Specifically, I'll describe the roles of your academic advisor, your student success specialist, your program coordinator, and student integration officers. Next slide. Your program coordinator is a faculty member in your program. They can help with any program related questions. If you want to drop a course and need to understand how that might impact your program moving forward, they would be the best person to reach out to. Next slide, please. Your Student Success Specialist, or SSS, is there to help identify services that might be useful to you and help connect you with them. If you're thinking about withdrawing from your program after the first 2 weeks, or you're facing some challenges in your studies, reach out to your SSS to discuss some options. Next slide, please. Your academic advisor is usually a faculty member in your program, and they're a subject matter expert in your field. They can help you decide on academic goals, make a plan to achieve your goals, and discuss your options after graduation. If you have any questions about a career in the field you're studying, your academic advisor would be a great resource to go to. Next slide. Student integration officers, or SIOs, can help with a variety of questions and refer you to the right department when you're not sure where to turn. You can drop by our office, and that's in room C037, or you can submit your questions online, and we'll put the link in the chat. Next slide, please. So you may have noticed a course called AC Cafe in your Brightspace account. You can self-enroll in this course and access lots of information and activities that will help prepare you for the start of classes. While it's called a course, it's not graded. It's just an opportunity to find out some information about Algonquin before you start your semester. Next slide. The different modules in the AC Cafe address a variety of topics, such as Algonquin technology, understanding your timetable, navigating the Ottawa campus, and more. Next slide. Program orientation. Program orientation is a great opportunity to meet program faculty as well as some classmates. There's valuable information shared during your orientation about your program, as well as how to access services around the college. You can check out the program orientation website for updates and where your orientation session will occur. We'll put that link in the chat as well. Next slide, please. And that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thanks so much, Kelsey. So we're now going to move on to Elizabeth from Health Services.
Thank you very much, Sam. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Algonquin College. We are thrilled to have you here today. My name is Elizabeth Peña Fernandez, and I'm the Health Promotion and Education Coordinator. And today I'm going to talk about health services and the Student Health and Wellness team. Next slide, please. Thank you. So health services is a primary care clinic that is available to all current students and staff. It is located at the college in the room C141. This is in C building, first floor. Our hours of operation are from Monday to Friday from 8:30 to 4:30. And here is our phone number. So it is very convenient to have access to medical services here at the college as well. Next slide, please. Thank you. So in health services, you can find doctors, nurses, a mental health nurse, and also we have a psychiatry clinic in partnership with the Royal Ottawa. Besides, we have a partnership with the Student Health and Wellness team to promote different kind of events. Next slide, please. Thank you. So here are some of our services. So we can provide medical care, and if this is an emergency, we can help you to connect with other institutions as well. Remember that you can always call 911 if there is an emergency and if this is happening after hours. We also provide a general health appointments, such as general health referrals to a specialist, TB testing and immunizations for your program placements, flu shots, allergy injections, and also different kind of lab tests. For example, pap test, blood test, STI test, or birth control. As I mentioned before, talking about mental health and mental illness, we have a mental health nurse, so you can book an appointment with them. And we have this partnership with the Royal Ottawa, so you can receive, you can have access to our psychiatry clinic as well. The health and wellness team, we promote events and workshops in 6 pillars of health. Those pillars are general health, sleep hygiene, nutrition and fitness, sexual health, mental health, harm reduction, and substance use. So we want to make sure that you take good care of yourself. Next slide, please. Now, how can we access health services? It is very important that you register as a new patient with us. Here's the link in the slide, but I'll include the link in the chat as well in a moment. So you need to fill out 2 forms that are there, and then you will receive an email from us saying that you are now a patient and that you can book your appointment with us at any time. In order to book your appointment, you need to give us a call, and that's it. You need to bring to your appointment your health card. If you have OHIP card or if you have Garmi card, just bring them to you along with your student employee card, right? So for your immunization appointments, some of your placements or some of your academic programs require specific immunizations. Just make sure that you have this information with you when you want to book your appointment with us. You need to know, what does the academic program require? What does the placement require? When does the placement start, so you can plan your time? And how long each vaccination dosage series lasts, okay? Consider as well the duration between the immunizations, so you can have all the dosages that are required on time before your placement starts. We also have walk-in appointments. They are available for you. Just take into consideration that you may wait a certain time, right, to have access to the nurse or the doctor. It is encouraged to book your appointment ahead of time, right? But if you need to have an appointment, an unexpected appointment, you can go to the clinic, but you may wait a little bit. How much? We don't know. It could be 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 hours. It is uncertain, right? Next slide, please. Talking about health promotion, we have health information, communication, and engagement as well. Next slide, please. As I mentioned before, we work with 6 pillars of health. We promote these pillars of health. Our main mission is to help you to balance your academic life with your personal life and your general well-being. So your mental health, your general well-being, your general health, it's very, very important to us. So that is why we are here to support you. So we are the health promotion and health education team, and we work with the Project Lighthouse. This project is about sexual health and prevention of sexual violence, and also the Umbrella Project that is about substance use and harm reduction, and the Beacon that is our peer support group. Next slide, please. I will include all the links in the chat in a minute. Those are some examples of our activities. We have the lunchtime yoga, that is an hybrid event that happens in person and on Zoom as well. It happens every Monday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. So you are very welcome to join us. Next slide, please. And also we run the AC Purple Couch. This is an initiative that promotes mental health awareness among students. to reduce the stigma about mental health. And the main idea is that whenever that you see the purple couch, you can grab a seat and speak your mind with the person that is besides you. Okay, so the purple couch happens every Tuesday from 10:30 to 12:30, and we have different locations in the campus. Next slide, please. This is another example. We have Time for You. This is a self-care event. So every week we will have different self-care activities, and we will provide all the material, resources, drinks, snacks. So you can just be there and relax a little bit and take a good care of yourself. Next slide, please. So here is our contact information. You are very, very welcome to join us at the Student Health and Wellness Zone that is located on the 3rd floor above the Starbucks. And you can always ask for help there, and you can have access to different materials, resources, sexual health products, menstrual products, etc. So don't hesitate in reaching out. We're here to help you. We're here to support you. And I'll be answering some questions, and also I'll include all the links in the chat. Thank you so much. Welcome and congratulations.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. All right, everyone, we're gonna answer some questions here from academic success and campus services and health services. So the first one here is for Kelsey from academic success. So Kelsey, how does someone know who their program coordinator is?
So a student will know who their program coordinator is by searching it on the program coordinator webpage. So I'll put the link in the chat, and in there you will find you just search your program, you'll find all of their program, all of their contact information, so their email, their office, and their phone number. And I'll put that in the chat now.
Okay. And can you tell us why the program coordinator is so important, and why they should be in contact with their program coordinator?
Your program coordinator can answer all of your program related questions. They are an expert on that program, and if they don't have the answer for you, they'll be able to tell you who you could reach out to.
Okay, thanks, Kelsey. And folks, ACE 1 is coming up not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after. So Tuesday is September 5th. And so that day is the day that we encourage you to go to your program orientation, which is where you will meet your program coordinator in person. So go to your program orientation on ACE 1 so that you can meet your program coordinator and get all that information about your specific program, and then come to all the social activities afterwards. Thanks, Kelsey. All right, we're going to move on to some questions here for David from Campus Services. So David, this one is about Booklist. So if a student can get their books digitally from somewhere else other than the college bookstore, can they go ahead and do that, or do they need to get them specifically from the college bookstore?
Yeah, great question. So you are free to purchase your books wherever you choose, digital or physical, so fully up to you. When you do so, make sure that you're getting the exact same version and year that is requested on Booklist. So you might be able to find discounts on some older books, but that older content might not be relevant to your current course. So as long as it's the same number, as long as it's the same year, the same version, make sure of that, and you should be good to go. So wherever you choose, it's just nice and easy when you do it on campus, because we know for sure, because we're working directly with the professors.
Okay, thanks, David. And then again, concerning Booklist, should they buy all of their book lists before starting classes? And then also, do you know if there's any opportunities to maybe rent books from the library?
So before classes, lots of students who like to be prepared go and get all of their required texts. So often you'll see on Booklist required, which means the professor plans to use that material, but you also see recommended, and that will help boost your learning, but aren't absolutely necessary to to succeed in the course. So if you have the time to do it before, now the campus is not as busy as it will be the first week of school, so you might have a little bit easier access. But you don't have to do it before class. You can wait, you can talk to your professors the first week, but then you might run into a little bit longer to get to the bookstore. Lots of folks here on campus. It's an exciting time, but it's also a busy time. So I think that answers that question. And when it comes to the renting books from the library, yeah, that's our library's function. So we don't have every book ever created, but you can check out online. They have their collection searchable on there as well.
Okay, thanks, David. And then David, another question for you. So how and where does the student put money on their AC card, and where can they use their card on campus?
Great. So for AC card, we'll put a link in the chat. You can load money online is where everybody does it. And also you can send this link to loved ones, parents, family. They have their own unique logins. So if you can't load the money and there's somebody in your life who'd like to load the money, they can do it as well. And it's really quite quick and easy. Use of AC Cash on campus. The most popular locations are our food service locations. It's even faster than credit and debit. You just come in and you tap really fast and away you go. And then it works on a declining balance. You can see your how much money you have left on your card at any time. So food is absolutely the most popular. Also, it's popular at our retail spot as well, our bookstore. So you can tap, if you have AC Cash on your card, you can tap there. But food is the most used. Okay, awesome. Thanks, David. So we're going to move on to a couple of questions here from health services. So Elizabeth, these are for you. So firstly, Elizabeth, can you tell us about mental health resources? If a student is really struggling with their mental health, who should they reach out to?
Yes, thank you so much, Sam. That is a very, very important question. So we have different options, right? So you can book your appointment with a counselor. We have counseling services here at Algonquin College. How you do that? You go to the Welcome Center and just book your appointment with the counselor, right? So with a counselor, you will have a therapy. They will show you and work with you about your worries or give you tools, strategies. So those are short-term therapies, right? But also we have in health services, we have a mental health nurse. A mental health nurse will help you to navigate through the system, to provide you different resources, to reach out to some organizations. So they will guide you, right, to different resources. So it will depend on your needs. But also we have the psychiatry clinic. The psychiatry clinic, to have an appointment there, you need to book an appointment with a doctor first to talk to them about your needs. And then the doctor will require an appointment for you with the psychiatry clinic, right? But also we have other resources in the college. For example, we have the peer support. The peer support are other students. They are trained to provide resources or to guide you through the life and the college as well, right? But also we provide different brochures, pamphlets, informations, posters. So it will depend on your needs. But those are some examples of the services that we have.
Okay, that's wonderful to know. Thank you, Elizabeth. And folks, I just want to reiterate how important it is to take care of your mental health when you are in college. And Algonquin College has so many resources for you. We are here for you. So please make sure you're taking care of your physical health, but also your mental health, because it's really, really important. And we are here for you. We have so many resources. All right, Elizabeth, one more question for you. So are all of the medical health services, so like the health clinic and some of the events and like some of the mental health things that you just mentioned, are those do students get charged when they attend those resources or access those resources?
Right. So to have access to those resources, there's no fees. for the events, activities, workshops, things like that, right? So if you go to health services, you need to bring your card, your OHIP card or your GuardMe insurance. And some of the services may have fees because it will depend on the conditions and the exclusions of your insurance. So make sure, this is another important recommendation, make sure that you read your policy, right? Your GuardMe policy or your OHIP, just to know which kind of services are covered for them, right? There are some exceptions, and those exceptions, I'll put the link on the chat for you. For GuardMe insurance, there's a few exceptions, so I'll put that. But also, if you have questions, if you are not sure if it's covered by your insurance, reach out to them first.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you, Elizabeth.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, folks, we have 2 presentations left, and then we are going to answer some general questions, and then we'll be wrapping up very soon. So I'm going to pass it over now to Sophia from the Students Association.
Thanks, Sam. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Sophia, and I'm a marketing officer of the Students Association, and today I'm going to fill you in on all of the services that we have to offer. Next slide, please. Our mission is to create an environment that inspires a passion for student success. We're here to help you with anything you might need. Next slide, please. Here at the SA, we have an elected board of directors made up of full-time students that serve as your voice to the college administration. The board of directors regularly connects with students on campus to learn all about their wants and needs during their time at Algonquin College. Next slide, please. On this page, you'll find your board of directors for 2023-2024. The board is made up of 5 directors, Haley, Sierra, Jasper, Braden, Riley, as well as our president, Abigail, and vice president, Nishan. Next slide, please. The Students Association puts on a number of events throughout the year, from large-scale concerts and festivals to smaller trivia nights and more. Keep an eye out on social channels to stay up to date on all of our upcoming events. Next slide, please. Jackdaw Athletics and Recreation Center is our newest building on the Ottawa campus. This facility has so many great features such as a rec and varsity gym, group fitness classes, accessible machinery, discovery track, as well as the Woolsden restaurant and games room that includes pool tables, golf simulator, and 10-pin bowling. Students who are fee-paying members of the SA have full access to all ARC facilities. All you have to do is complete and submit your one-time waiver. We also have varsity sports such as men's and women's basketball, soccer, volleyball, and rugby. If you're interested in playing for one of these teams, you can find the coaches' information on our website and contact them directly, or try out for the teams this month. Check out events calendar on our website for exact dates and times. We also offer intramural sports, which are non-competitive sports that you can play against other students. We offer sports like ball hockey, indoor soccer, basketball, volleyball, and open badminton. Next slide, please. We have great food and drink services on the Ottawa campus. The Woolsden is our restaurant located inside the ARC. Aside from fresh house-made menu items, awesome outdoor patio, the Woolsden also features a games room. Once again, don't forget to sign your waiver to use any of the ARC amenities, including the games room. This is where you can reserve pool tables, golf simulator, and 10-pin bowling lanes. We also own and operate a Starbucks on campus located in the student commons if you're looking for an energy boost before or after class. And the observatory will be reopening this fall. It's an excellent place to join your classmates for lunch between classes or attend a student event like pub trivia. All Students Association food locations accept student meal plan. Next slide, please. A great way to get involved on campus is becoming a class representative. Class reps are students from each program that bring academic concerns forward to our board of directors. Elevate your student experience with clubs and communities, a place where all students are welcome. Find your passion or bring one to life right here on campus. Stop by the club space to hang out with friends, make new ones, play games, and more. Next slide, please. We offer a number of different services on campus. The Food Cupboard is a discreet and confidential support service that provides students who are experiencing financial difficulty with food and other basic necessities. We oversee the health and dental plan for full-time domestic students. This plan covers dental care, prescription care, vision care, mental health support, and more. Plan details can be found online at algonquinsa.com. Funding can be provided for all students looking to host graduation parties or to bring in guest speakers. And in addition to this, we also have a number of different meeting and silent study rooms on campus that you can reserve. Next slide, please. The Algonquin Commons Theater is our 800-person theater located on the Ottawa campus. The theater hosts a number of different types of shows, from musicals, comedians, concerts, and even dance shows. Some past acts include Nelly, Machine Gun Kelly, Preston Pablo, and more. Next slide, please. The Pembroke campus has a fitness zone and a 2-story rock climbing wall and a gymnasium offering the same intramural sports as Ottawa. The Landing is our licensed lounge on campus that's also used as an event space. Next slide, please. The Perth campus has a fitness center with similar services offered as an Ottawa campus. Next slide, please. And are you looking for a job on campus? Because look no more, Students Association is hiring. We offer flexible hours that work around your schedules, incentives, great environment, opportunities to grow, and for some positions, you can even earn your placement hours while you work. For more information and to apply, visit algonquinsa.com/join our team. Next slide, please. Make sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube to get the fastest information about Algonquin SA events, updates, job opportunities, and more. And next slide, please. If you're a Perth or Pembroke student, be sure to follow their campus-specific accounts. And that's it for us. Thanks so much for your time and best of luck this school year.
That was so great. Thank you so much, Sophia. All right, everyone, we have our last presentation from our college experts. So I just want to say thank you so much for being so engaged with this entire presentation so far. You're already doing amazing in college. So let's just get through this one more presentation and then we'll answer a few questions here. So last but not least, we have Alexis from Experiential Learning and Innovation.
Great. Thanks so much, Sam, and welcome everybody for being here. And thank you for being here today. As mentioned, I'll be talking about the Experiential Learning and Innovation Division, which covers applied research, co-op, as well as employment support services. Next slide, please. So I'll start with co-op education. Co-op is a partnership that involves students, employers in the college that provide students with work experience to complement their in-class training. This is a paid opportunity. Students who have applied to the co-op program will receive co-op orientation and more information about what is required for them during their program. The co-op program helps students receive a paid work term with local employers and helps them set up for success as they enter the work world as graduates. Next slide, please. Also going to touch on applied research, which is also a great experiential learning opportunity, which provides you with experience before entering the work world. So what happens with applied research projects is we have program managers who work with different departments, as well as community partners. One of our most recent ones was Elections Canada. So students worked in groups to solve a problem and present it to Elections Canada as part of their coursework. If you're interested in working on campus, there are positions that open throughout the year for research assistants, as well as mentorship for entrepreneurs. We also have access to a makerspace on campus, which has 3D printers, laser cutters, as well as virtual reality. Students who participate in applied research projects also have the opportunity to showcase their projects with peers, industry members, and more during the in-class student showcase. And students who do applied research projects also have additional access to workshops and specialized software and training. Next slide, please. And the Experiential Learning and Innovation Division also has the Employment Support Center. So this is for all students. And what it does is it helps provide support with your resume and cover letters using a AI tool called VMock. So what that does is it actually gives you a score on your resume and provides you with interview questions as well to help set you up for success. We also have in-person and virtual appointments with our student talent team, so they can work with you to help you find a job in your role or reach out to employers or anything that will help you succeed in your job search. So the Experiential Learning and Innovation Division is really focused on helping students succeed in work placements, as well as setting you up for your career beyond Algonquin. So these, as I mentioned before, these are free tools that you can book an appointment with online. I would suggest, even if you are a new student, you get started with your job search sooner than later. At least thinking about it, as well as building your resumes, your skills, etc. And the Employment Support Center is a really great opportunity to do that. Next slide. And that's everything for me. Thank you.
That was great. Thanks so much, Alexis. All right, folks. So we're just going to wrap it up here with a couple of questions for the essay and for Alexis from Experiential Learning. So Sophia, I have a few questions for you first. So the first question here is, in terms of fitness training at the ARC, the big facility at the college, can you tell us a little bit about the classes there and what students can access just with their paying student fees?
For sure. If you're a full-time student, you have access to the ARC facility at no additional cost, as well as the Wilsden Games Room. So when you access the ARC, all you have to do is sign your waiver and activate your student ID at the welcome desk. Then you can book your classes. We offer a variety of fitness and contact classes such as yoga, boot camps, fitness trainings, boxing, and all that sorts of stuff. All you have to do is go online, book your time that you'd like to go to class to, and you can just come anytime. If you'd like to just go to the gym, all you do is you swipe your student ID and you can go anytime and work out on site. You can also book bowling lanes, pool tables, and golf simulator on the same system. So just check out our website, algonquinsa.com/ARC, and all the information is there.
Okay, that's great. Thanks so much, Soph.
No problem.
And my last question for you, Sophia, is about the Board of Governors. Can you kind of just tell us about what that is and why that's important to students?
For sure. Student board of directors is elected every single year. They're your voice to the college administration. So what they do is they collect your feedback throughout the year and they set priorities or goals that they work towards every single year. Their job is to advocate for students and to bring positive changes to the student experience, student curriculum, and so on. So if you have any feedback for your board of directors or just want to chat with them about your experience, you can go on our website, algonquinsa.com/BOD, and you can submit your feedback, whether it's positive or negative. We look at everything and respond within a few days. And yeah, we try to bring a positive change.
Great, thank you, Soph. And Sophia, who is the president for this fall 2023 semester?
For sure. The president this year is Abigail Soto Carvajal. You can find her on our website and her email, and you can get in touch.
Okay, thanks so much, Sophia. So Alexis, I have one question for you. So can you tell us more about the Makerspace and why students should check that out while they're on campus?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So the Makerspace is an innovative space that's located in the Dare district of C Building, and it gives students an opportunity to really create their ideas and bring them to life, whether it's through 3D printing or whether it's through another means of virtual reality, something similar, where they are in a safe environment and they work with experts and they get guidance on how to take an idea in a concept and bring it into an idea and bring it into an actual product. So we've seen things like robots being built. We've seen their favorite characters come to life through 3D printing. We've also seen people do like signs, etc., for their weddings. So they've actually 3D printed signs for their weddings. So the really cool thing about the makerspace is that there's actually experts in that space who can help you with your ideas, whether it's entrepreneurship, starting a business, or if you just kind of want to learn more about the technologies. Then you can go in through the makerspace. And yeah, it's completely free for students and it's open during college hours. But I would really, really recommend checking it out just to see the cool opportunities you can have while being a student here at Algonquin.
It's one of my favorite places on campus. It is so cool to see everything that everyone's created. So highly recommend checking that out, folks. All right, guys. So I think we're going to wrap it up here. That was a full session full of so many questions and so much information. But again, folks, we are here for you. Please, if you have more questions about anything that we covered today, please reach out to the specific department. They will be able to answer your questions more in depth. If you're an international student, make sure to attend those international student orientations. They are so important. And folks, AC Day 1 is coming up on Tuesday, September 5th. So less than 2 weeks away now. So we are so excited to welcome you to campus on that day. That is the first official day of the fall 2023 semester. Again, we encourage you to please go to your program orientation first on that day, and then go to all of the social activities after that. And you can make your own schedule. So go to your program orientation first, and then choose what you would like to go to and what you would like to participate in after your program orientation. We have activities all throughout the day, so it's very flexible for you to choose from. So again, folks, I want to say thank you so much for joining us today. You were all so wonderful and so engaged, and we really, really appreciate that. And again, this webinar was recorded, so if you would like to rewatch it, it will be available to watch for you on the AC Hub On Demand webpage in the coming days. And if you haven't already done so, again, please make sure to register for AC Day 1, which again is taking place on Tuesday, September 5th. And we'll put the link to register for that in the chat now. Also, don't forget to visit algonquincollege.com/orientation to complete your online prep before the first day of the semester. So again, folks, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to all our college experts for sharing their expertise with us. And we are so excited to welcome you to Algonquin College this coming fall 2023 semester. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful day.